Okay. I'm gonna have to.
Audio sounds very glitchy.
Oh. Anyways, the tree is 20 feet away from Mariella. The line of sight to the top of the tree creates a 42-degree angle of elevation, and the line of sight to the base of the tree creates a 31-degree angle of depression. So let's quickly review angle of elevation and angle of depression. Elevation goes up, depression goes down, but depression, remember, this is where people a lot of times get really confused, but depression goes, it's like wherever you start going down, and then that creates the angle right here. So that would be my angle. Okay, anyway, now we're trying to find the height of the tree. So the height of the tree is going to be split up into two parts. Let's call this one X, and let's call this one Y. Let's start with X. What relationship can I use between the 20 and the X and the 42-degree angle?
How much are penalty off? Wait, no, it would be opposite over adjacent, it would be tangent.
Tangent, opposite over adjacent. So tangent of 42. Tangent of 42 equals what? X over 20. Good. So if you're having trouble visualizing that, let me draw this triangle, but right here.
Are you drawing on anything on the screen?
Yeah, you don't see it? Oh no. Does anyone else see it? Can you guys see what I'm writing? Oh, okay.
I think you teaching from your house is better from this.
I know. Well, the Wi-Fi, the situation with the internet is like, usually that should have been fine because if I was on the desktop, which is connected to like the Ethernet, so that would have been fine. But okay. So anyway, tangent of 42, opposite X over adjacent 20. So how do I solve for X? Times 20 on both sides. So X equals 20 times the tangent of 42. Go ahead, use your calculators. To the nearest 10th, tell me what you get. To the nearest 10th?
Yes.
18. Perfect.
Oh, it's 40.
42, yep.
Yeah, I got it.
18. 18, good. X equals 18. But now I got to do the same situation using 31 degrees. So what relationship uses Y and 20? Also tangent, good. Tangent of 31. What would be tangent of 31? Yeah, Y over 20. Similar situation, I gotta multiply both sides by 20. So now I'm doing 20 times the tangent of 31. Go ahead and use your calculators. Well, something. 12.6. Use your calculator, Daniel. 20 times the tangent of 31. 12 point what? And so to the nearest 10th, what's that going to be? 12. So what's the height of the tree?
30.
30 meters or whatever, feet, 30 feet.
30 feet.
30 feet. Daniel, are you having fun?
Yes.
Questions on this one? Kind of nice to review this stuff. I think you guys enjoyed this. Okay, word problem. Who wants to read?
Why does everybody look at me?
You're the classroom teacher.
Tyrone, unmute yourself and I'll mute myself and you unmute.
A student stands 50 feet away from the front of a building and measures the angle of elevation to the top of the building. From the student's eyes, level 5 feet off the ground, the angle of elevation to the top of the building is 30 degrees. Approximately, what is the height of the building?
All right, good. So I'm gonna draw this out, okay? We have a student, I'm gonna just draw a stick figure.
Yay.
And he's 50 feet,
Are amazing.
50 feet, 50 feet away from the front of a building. Here's the building. This is not drawn to scale, obviously. Whoa. Okay, there we go. Then then it says the angle of elevation to the top of the building is 30 degrees. But the guy is 5 feet off the ground, so he's 5 feet.
How is he levitating like that? No, he's probably.
He's on the ground. No, but the eyes are 5 feet from the ground.
Oh.
And his angle of elevation to the top of the building, if he looks at it, is going to be 30 degrees. 30 degrees is going to be which? So let me draw this out. Which part is 30 degrees? Is it this part right here? Or is it this part over here? The X or the Y? X, okay. So that's 30 degrees. That's the angle of elevation. Now I have to find the height of the building. So we know that we don't know the measurement of that, but we do know that this is 50 or 50 feet. So what am I going to use? Sine, cosine, or tangent? Good, tangent. Tangent of 30 equals? X over 50. What do I do to both sides? Times 50. So X is equal to 50 times the tangent of 30. Thirty times the cos, no, 50 times the tangent of 30. So what do we get? 28.9, but that's only this part right here. So how much is left over?
5.7 years.
Yeah, where'd that come from? From his height. Right, the angle of elevation comes from his eyes, not from his feet.
So it would be 34 rounded up.
So if you round up, it's gonna be 34 feet. Yep,
I'm participating.
good job, Daniel.
I'm also eating mental.
All right, so how do we feel about this type of problem? There was a word problem, you have to draw it out. You would have put 30? You would have put answer or 29? So just don't forget that when you're reading a problem, if there's an angle of elevation, that's going to be from the person's eyeballs. So you got to remember to add the height of that person.
What if they're like really short, like Smurfs, and their eyes are like the height of their feet?
That's not how that works, Daniel. So don't worry about that situation. All right, next up.
But what if they're like?
I want you guys to try, Daniel. I want you guys to try this one on your own. Take 3 minutes after you do this problem. You can use the bathroom. Go ahead. 3 minutes. All right, 3 minutes are on the clock. Go ahead and start if you haven't done so yet. All right, guys.
I don't know.
One. Any questions? You all got your answer already? Okay, so let's go through it. So for this one, sine, cosine, or tangent, what do I need? Tangent again. Daniel, I need you to be quiet. So tangent of 50 would be what? X over 30. Multiply both sides by 30. I end up with 30 times the tangent of 50, which you use your calculator and you get
35, 75, 260, 7, 7, 7, 7.
okay, 35.7 rounds up to 30.
39.
Questions on using the sine, cosine, tangent? You're enjoying yourself over there. Face forward, please. Focus. Okay. Now let me kick things up a little bit. I'm gonna leave those for next time. Oh no, wait. Okay, hold on. Let me find a good one because we only have one more time for one more. Okay, fine. Go. Okay, part B. Let's do part B. Well, actually, part A is pretty quick. What is the height of the monument? What do I use to find the height? Look at what you have. Look at what you're missing. How do I know any angle measurements? So I can't use my angle measurements. What can I use though? We can use the Pythagorean theorem. So we start part A, we're going to use Pythagorean theorem. So 100 squared plus x squared plus 225 squared. Yeah. Yes, hypotenuse is always C. Yep. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared. That's always the hypotenuse. All right, now I got to solve for x. So I got to, this is 10,000. And what's 225 to the power of 2? 50,625. Subtract 10,000 from that. 40,625. Take the square root of that number. What do you get? 201.55. So rounding up, we get 202. So in part B, we get our height, 202. Or part A, I guess. Now, I have to find the angle of elevation from the stake on the ground to the top of the monument. So I'm looking right here. I need to find this angle. I'm going to call it theta. I can use any relationship, really, because I have all three sides. So do you guys want to use sine, cosine, or tangent? Sine? Okay. Doesn't matter which one you use. What would be sine of theta? 202 over 225. Well, now I need to find theta. I know everything else, but I need to find theta. So first things first, I have to divide. So it's 202 divided by 225. 0.89. But how do I get the theta? Right now, this is sine of theta. How do I get theta by itself? There's the thing with the negative sign. Yeah. What's that called? The inverse. Good. Exactly. So this is sine of theta. To get theta by itself, I have to multiply by the inverse sine. Yeah, well, there you go. So theta will be the inverse sine of 0.89. Well, that's where we go to our calculator. And we're going to find the inverse sine of 0.89. 0.89. Don't forget that you have to press the second button. If you don't press the second button, you won't see your inverses.
It's not, I left like the whole point 0.89.
Okay, round. Okay, round to the nearest whole number we get 60. Inverse sign. So is it B or C? Wait, which one is it? I mean, C. Sorry. So theta is approximately 63 degrees, which makes it C. So there's two ways, right? Because sometimes if you're solving for X, you just have to find, okay, what's the sine of 35 or the sine of 46 or whatever. But in this case, we have to use the inverse sign instead. So do I have any questions on that? It's always about what you're looking for. All right, well, I think that's all I have for you guys today. There is another homework assignment going up, and then this assignment though, it has triangles, quadrilaterals, and circles on it. So I recommend that you don't try to submit it tonight, but you can start it tonight. And then as we go through the week, you'll review everything else. So yeah, it's due on Friday and you'll be done. You'll learn everything that's on it by Wednesday. So you'll be good. All right, guys, sorry for the internet issues. I hope that the recording goes up okay. But if there's no other questions, you guys at home can go ahead and go. I hope I see you guys next week for testing, because now that I'm in the building, I would love to say hello. So if you're here for testing, try to look out for me.
Okay, I'll look up for you and Miss Hadais.
Yeah, look for us both. You'll have to look carefully because we'll be like way shorter than you.
It's true.
It's very true.
Hey, she tried throwing a marker at me the last time I went back to school.
Tyrone is taller too? Yeah, I'm sure he is.
But he's definitely taller than me.